It's now 25 years since the release of Sega's critical and commercial smash hit, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And boy, has it aged well. I mean, the game, not Sonic. He looks just the same. But to be fair, he does a lot of cardio. Released on February 2nd, 1994, this iconic game completed the original trilogy of Sega Genesis Sonic games. I can hear the old Sega startup music in my head. Sega! So good. So without further ado, here's everything you didn't know about Sonic 3. Sonic 3 was one of Sega's best-selling games of all time, with over 1 million units sold. While it pales in comparison to the 15 million cartridges sold from Sonic 1, a million strong is nothing to sneeze at. The third installment of this 2D platformer had Sonic up to his old tricks, running super fast up walls and, of course, in circles, jumping over spikes, and dodging little robots. Oh, and gamers could also play as Sonic's sidekick, Tails. You know Tails. Tails, the fox that can use his two tails to fly like a fuzzy propeller made of fur. Just like foxes do in the wild when evading predators, with their two tails. Later stages of the game allowed you to co-op play, where you and a friend could actually play together as both characters, instead of always fighting over the controller. Sonic 3 was the first game that allowed players to control Tails' flying ability, which you could use to lift Sonic over obstacles and fly him around. So, less like a sidekick and more like a chauffeur? Friends with benefits, you could say? Ugh. The story begins as Sonic and Tails land on the tropical Angel Island. How did they get there? Well, Tails flew them there on their very own biplane. Chauffeur. With benefits, remember? They had their own private plane. It even said Sonic on the side. What an egomaniac. Super fan side note, the plane is called the Tornado. Like, check it out. Sonic's standing on the plane. He doesn't care about seatbelts or seats. What a boss. Speaking of bosses, the first big bad they encountered isn't who you'd expect. It's not Dr. Robotnik, but twist, it's Knuckles. Knuckles is introduced as an enemy who smacks into Sonic, steals his emeralds, and runs off deep into the heart of the island. This is his first appearance in a Sonic game. Initially conceived as a rival for Sonic, he later becomes an ally and one of the franchise's most beloved characters. But that's later. Knuckles is a moody, temperamental character who is quick to anger and throws a mean punch. He punched Sonic and then laughed at him. All he needs to do is call Sonic a butthead and he's Biff Tannen.
What are you looking at, butthead?
Sonic and Tails then hunted down Knuckles and the emeralds while trying to defeat Dr. Robotnik. You know, this handsome fella. Seriously, Robotnik slays looks, y'all. Like, look at his mustache. The gameplay is challenging yet straightforward, meaning you literally run straight forward for most of the playtime. But the story is quite rich. For one, it picked up right after the second game left off, making for a nicely cohesive narrative experience. At the end of Sonic 2, Super Sonic destroyed Robotnik's space station, dubbed the Death Egg, and fled to safety. Wow, cutscenes have come a long way. So, in Sonic 3, Robotnik's space station crashes on Angel Island, where we meet Knuckles, the enchilada, I mean, echidna. Enchiladas. Fun fact, echidnas are relatives of the hedgehog and porcupine, and just as cute. It would make a good Patronus. Admit it. Anyway, Knuckles is the last survivor of an ancient civilization that lived on the island and guarded the Master Emerald, which gives the island the power to levitate. Levitating island. Where have I heard that before? Sokovia. Wait, was Avengers based on Sonic 3? Because also, Ultron is a robot, just like Robotnik. I'm just saying, this could make for a heck of a team-up.
You run. only to fall.
No? Fine. Robotnik tricked Knuckles into thinking that Sonic is the real villain trying to steal the Master Emerald, turning the would-be friends against each other. And as Sonic races through the 8 different zones on the island, Knuckles pops up periodically to make things more difficult. Some standout moments from the game include the beginning of Angel Island Zone, which required players to deftly make Sonic jump off swinging ropes onto buttons and out of harm's way. There's Hydro City with its distinctive brick design and underwater challenges, and of course, the infamous Ice Cap Zone, which saw Sonic snowboard for the first time. Man, what can't he do? Yes, I am jealous of a video game character. And interspersed throughout were 3D minigames, the series' first foray into 3D, where players enter giant rings, warping Sonic to a realm to collect Chaos Emeralds. Collecting all 7 gave players the ability to go supersonic anytime, making him basically invincible. See? He's walking on water. Sonic is a god. Gaining power-ups along the way were a crucial advantage, without which the game was hella difficult to complete. Because, holy cow, there are only 8 save points in the entire game. That's it! You had to complete a zone in order for the automatic save to trigger, and each zone ended with an epic boss battle. Fail to collect enough health rings to safely make it past all the bad guys, razor spikes, and evil robot mini-bosses, and you had to start from scratch. Not to mention that during Sonic 3 development, Sega decided to expand the story and made the levels so big they were nearly 3 times the size of the ones in Sonic 2. Thank God Sonic has so much stamina. Does he work out a lot? Is it genetic? I have so many questions. But seriously, for those who spent countless hours playing this game, the levels were long and punishing, but power-ups along the way would help you out. You could pick up extra lives, earn the ability to breathe underwater, obtain a shield that could block fire, and best of all, commit a lot of property damage without any consequences. People live there, man! The game ended with a face-off between Sonic and Robotnik. And guess what? Sonic wins. 3 in a row, baby! You'd think Robotnik would give up at this point. And the best part was saved for last. After you defeat the game, Sonic appears in the air, flying into the sky to give you a parting thumbs up. Whoa, thanks game. He just flies off? He can fly? If Sonic can fly, why didn't he just fly way earlier? I could have just flown through like a ton of levels. Maybe all the levels. Well, except for the water level. And if he can fly, why does he need the plane? Is it just for show? Weird, man, just weird. All in all, Sonic 3 made for an unforgettable game that fans replay to this day. I mean, I do. Some consider it one of the best Sega Genesis games ever released. It improved on 2's gameplay in innovative ways, introduced a great new character, and launched a comic book adaptation in issues of Sonic the Comic. And hey, it could have been much, much different. Knuckles almost wasn't Knuckles, but a character with a Jamaican accent named Dreads. Fortunately, they changed their minds during development. Thank God. I mean, thank Sonic. And the soundtrack might have been poppier. In fact, Michael Jackson had originally signed on to compose the music. Yep, the king of pop. A self-proclaimed Sonic superfan, he threw himself into the project, but his employment ended after allegations of past sex abuse broke in the press at the time. There is allegedly an unreleased demo tape out there of Jackson singing an a cappella Sonic song. I don't know about you, but I'd love to hear it. If anyone works at Sega and wants to be my friend, call me. So, simply put, Sonic 3 provided endless hours of gameplay while locking in the Sonic we know and love. What's Sonic's future? Ben Schwartz, the one and only Jean-Ralphio from Parks and Rec, is going to voice Sonic in a movie scheduled for release in November 2019. Got thoughts on Sonic's next chapter? Tips on how to beat Sonic 3's big boss, or cheat codes to get us past the first level, sanity intact? Hit us up in the comments below.